Oh, sure, Jess. Now that you're not trying to prove that you're a girl, now you gotta cover up. Oh, no, don't look at my boobs. Okay, anyway. Hey, Warren. It's Joe Bob 1/2. Okay, Jess, you can go back to your MySpace. Anyway. So, a couple things I wanted to say. Now, actually, I have a question for you first, before I go on. What's your view on the Associated Press? I mean, I have no problem with them. I prefer to watch the Associated Press, mostly because it's kind of dry. I don't know. I find the Associated Press a little bit more dry than your CNN, and, you know, your liberal and your conservative, and, you know, your BBC and your Fox, etc. I prefer the Associated Press because to me it seems a little more dry and a little less, you know, biased. But I want to know your view on it. But anyway, it's not that we don't care about, here's the thing. It's not that we don't care that the British die. And it's not like they don't get reported. They do get reported here. It's just that Americans die so much more often than British that you often don't hear about the British dying, or you don't remember hearing about the British dying because, you know, a lot more Americans died. About 10 times as many Americans have died as British. I'm not saying that, oh, it was only 180. No. Or I think you said it was 180. He did say 180 British, right? Yeah. So, you know, unless you misstated something, you know, that's 10 times as many Americans as British. I'm not saying that the number of British die is a trifling number. It's okay. Let me make a bad analogy, because you know how I love bad analogies. Okay. Imagine this. Let's say out of all the Americans who have died in Iraq, this is a really bad analogy, so don't hate me for this. But let's say out of all the Americans who have died in the war, let's say 200 were Puerto Ricans. No, that's a really bad analogy, but let me finish to see if you get my drift. If we don't report, you know, Puerto Ricans are not necessarily, I mean, they're U.S. citizens, but, you know, they're not part of the U.S., if you get what I mean, so Puerto Ricans may get mad when we don't report Puerto Rican losses, but, you know, let me just abandon this analogy, because it's really, really bad. Let's just put it this way. I pay attention when every time a British soldier is injured or killed. I pay attention every time an American is injured or killed. It's just that Americans tend to overlook those things. That's about it. But, yeah, I've totally lost the point of this video. Poke. Anyway, go back to, Windows Movie Maker. Anyway, the main point is that, it's not that we don't care about the British. It's that sometimes they are dwarfed by the number of Americans who are killed. Anyway, that's all. This is Joe Bob 1/2, always preaching two things: love and peace.